Good day. I'll be discussing validating resources and understanding copyright claims. So let's start. Source evaluation is the process of critically evaluating information in relation to a given purpose in order to determine if it is appropriate for that intended use. The practice of resource evaluation involves a researcher taking an objective look at a potential source of information and making a reasoned and well-informed decision about its credibility and accuracy before determining whether or not it is an appropriate resource for a particular paper or project. As you visit various sites to conduct research, consider the validity of each site. It is important to evaluate where and what you search and find. One way to do this is to try out the CRAAP test for websites, books, articles, and a range of resources. CRAAP is an acronym for each step of the process of evaluating a source. C stands for currency, R for relevance, A for authority, another A for accuracy, and P for purpose. Currency relates to the timeliness of the resources. When was the information published or posted? Has the information been revised or updated? Is it important to have current information, or will older sources work as well? Are all the links working? Relevance relates to the importance of the information to you. Does the information relate to your research or answer your question? Is the information at an appropriate level? Or, for example, not too simple or too advanced for your needs? Have you looked at a range of other sources? This will help you to decide whether the source you are using is relevant. Are you comfortable citing this as a reputable source for your research paper? Authority relates to the source of the information. Who is the author or publisher or even source? What are the author's or organization's credentials? Is the source trustworthy or qualified to write on the subject? Is their contact information and it is easy to find out more about the author or the organization? If it is a website, what does the URL say about the source? For example, .com, .ac, .gov, .org, and .net. Accuracy relates to the reliability of the resource. Where does the information come from? Is the information supported by correct evidence? Can you verify any of the information in another reliable source? Does the language or tone seem balanced, unbiased, and free from errors? And lastly, purpose relates to the reason the information exists. What is the purpose of the information? Is the purpose clear and the point of view impartial or there are biases? For example, is it to inform, argue, teach, sell, entertain, and to persuade? Is the information fact, opinion, or propaganda? To evaluate internet sources, the internet is a great place to find both scholarly and popular sources, but especially important to ask questions about authorship and publication when you're evaluating online resources. If it's unclear who exactly created or published certain works online, look for about pages on the site for more information, or search for exact quotations from the text in Google, using quotation marks to see if you can find other places where the work has been published. Here are the guidelines on validating sources. Look for obvious errors in facts, statistics, grammar, spelling, or language use. How current is the website? Make sure that it is updated. If a web page offers facts and statistics, one way to determine their accuracy is by checking the author's and publisher's qualifications. Use the URL as an indicator of whether the website is affiliated with a recognized organization or institution as opposed to a group or individual without established credibility. The presence or absence of source references can help you assess the authenticity of material on the web. If a site claims to offer technical expertise, check the source references if available. And how did you find the site? If you are viewing blog or wiki content, remember that authors need no qualifications to contribute. It is unlikely that you will come across information from any source that contains no bias of any type. Look for depth of coverage of the topic, supported by other types of information. Many organizations offer accurate information on their websites, but their agendas are well known to be biased and the information they provide is unbalanced. Check the tone of the message, either factual and informative. Is there advertising on the page? And if so, how much? If you have any questions or doubts about the content on a website, check to see if the author or publisher can be reached by phone, mail, or email and contact them directly with your concerns. Okay, so let's jump to understanding copyright issues. Okay, so let's define copyright infringement first. A copyright infringement is a violation of an individual or organization's copyright. It describes the unauthorized use of copyrighted materials such as text, photos, videos, music, software, and other original content. In the computer industry, copyright violations often refer to software programs and websites. It also refers to the protection of any material published or unpublished, created by an individual or organization. Any created work or invention is considered to be the intellectual property of the person or organization who created it. Essentially, anything created by an individual or group on their own behalf is owned by that individual or group. Anything created by an individual or group under contract to an organization belongs to the organization that paid the fee for service. You are permitted to view the information published on a website, but restrictions apply to the way you use it. That is, you are limited to fair use, which means that you can use portions of copyrighted information for the purpose of criticism or comment without seeking permission from the rights holders. Copyright implicitly belongs to the owner of the website or published material, even if no copyright symbol or text appears on the product. Under legal ramifications of copyright infringement, if you are found to be in violation of a copyright, you will receive a letter from legal sources asking you to remove the content if it is in your website, or delete any files that you downloaded such as songs, movies, television shows, and etc. Licensing occurs when you are given permission to use a particular product or service from a vendor. Single seat, when you purchase a software program, you are purchasing a license to install and use the program on one computer only. Volume or network, an organization or company with a large number of users for a software program at various locations will usually purchase this type of license instead of individual copies. Site, this grants the purchaser permission to use the software on a network at a single location or website with an unlimited number of end users. Software as a Service or SaaS. Software is sold as a service that enables you to access and use a software program from your system via a network, the organization, intranet, or the internet. Shareware are programs usually available for you to try out for free for a limited amount of time. Freeware are programs that are available without charge and may also be shared with others at no charge. Bundling. Software can also be bundled with a computer purchase. Open source. A programming code is made available to anyone. You can modify the program to suit your needs and also share your version with others. By accepting the End User License Agreement or the EULA at the same time of installation, you further agree to abide by the rules for using the software on the computing device. Piracy is the unauthorized use or reproduction of someone else's work. Blockers and filters. Software that enables you to control the type or amount of content that can be viewed. These are often used in academic or corporate organizations to limit or block access to specific information. Blacklisting. This is the act of putting a person or a website or domain on a list that will deny them specific privileges or service. The use of filters and blockers can be called censorship. However, one must also consider that an institution or organization has the right to enforce whatever guidelines it deems suitable concerning the use of their equipment and services. Plagiarism occurs when you use information created by another person and present it as if it were your own work, either word for word or with minor changes. The concept of plagiarism also applies to images. It is easy to find information on the internet to use in your document, and just as easy for someone else to find it and recognize your use of it as plagiarism. When using information from the internet, always use in its original form and cite the source material. So for the conclusion in validating resources, there are different things to consider to make sure that the information you find from the source is reliable enough. Remember, all reasoning is based on data, information, and evidence. So you want to make sure that you are properly evaluating your sources for relevancy and accuracy. With the popularity of the internet, where anyone can post just about anything, it can be extremely challenging to determine the reliability of information. Even with books and articles, it is important to be able to distinguish relevant information from bias and inaccurate information. One of the problems with copyright protection is the fact that people do not understand the existing copyright legal framework. This problem has been aggravated by the easy access to the information on the internet, which most netizens consider to be free. Also, users are becoming increasingly unwilling to pay for intellectual property, since so much free information is available on the internet. The internet also creates new types of copyright infringements that have not been solved.